Hello everyone, my name is TheMadScorpyon and welcome to Festival of the Lost 2024. Starting right off the bat, if you wish to participate in this event, you will need to wear a mask. How you get that mask? You talk to Ava Levante. She'll lead you on a short quest that'll basically be interact with a few things, participate in the event, and then go ahead and come back to the tower, and she will of course reward you with the starting gear, as well as a roll of the new weapon. The new shotgun of a new frame I will get into in a little bit later. However, the farming of this event has changed around a little bit, and I will go over the details of how in this next bit. This year, the Spectral page has been deleted entirely. If you were here in previous years of Festival, you would have to earn the Spectral page from a random activity while wearing a mask, and then take those pages into the Haunted Sector activity and convert them into Manifested pages. Now, you just earn Manifested pages flat out, so it's a lot easier to earn them to convert them into the book, whether it is this year's or catching up on old ones. In addition to that, the event itself has streamlined entirely, because once you get to the phase of spawning the Headless Ones, you only have to spawn and kill 10 of them before the boss itself spawns. This makes it incredibly fast, less than 6 minutes per run if my memory serves correctly. The other important details of changes: the memento that is specific to Festival of the Lost, the Twilight memento, it is locked behind a new hidden objective that you have to figure it out, or the community figures it out and you learn for yourself from somebody else. Regardless, you will have to do a hidden triumph that you will not be told what to do at all in game to earn the memento the first time, but after that you will be able to farm it more from elsewhere. In addition, any focusing option that costs an eerie engram now has a chance to drop the memento. Last year it was only the basic engram. Now as well, there is exotic class items that can be focused in Ava Levante's store, and if you were catching up on previous year's lore, if you need manifested pages for old volumes, it is greatly discounted to catch up on old 1 through 3 books. To go over in brief, the whole activity itself: wearing a mask allows you to spawn both candy, the basic event currency that is used in the purchase of almost anything from Ava Levante, as well as the earning of the manifest pages, which are used just to the right of Ava Levante in the Tome of the Forgotten, which this year's will be this one, Volume 4. They will of course increase in price the further along they go up per page, from the basic of just 2 all the way to 9 per page. But last year's, like she mentioned in the patch notes, if you need to go through volumes 1 through 3, they will only cost 1 page. A lot easier to wipe out these entire books in just a few runs. Now, something to note, it's not exactly required except for 1 triumph, but the mystery grab bags here are available to convert from candy into random rewards. It can be anything from enhancement materials to random weapons and armor, possibly even enhancement materials in the highest degree, but of course it is literally a grab bag, not worth spending unless you absolutely have nothing else to spend on. But speaking of spending things on, there is the class items right here for all 3 classes for 1 eerie engram and 2,500 candy, which actually is quite a lot. I've only gotten 650 from relatively 2 runs, so you will need to farm out a little bit until being able to grab these in multiplicity. But as well, there is the bounties that reward candy in large amounts, from the weeklies to the dailies, and even the repeatable ones, they do award bonus candy. Speaking of candy, if you wish to min-max, there is a tree right here in the tower, as well as one next to Ikora in the bazaar. There is candy up to 250 per stack at the highest peak. If you wish to min-max, collect candy on all 3 characters in their towers. It will be worth it if you are seeking nothing but required candy. Next, if you actually look at her page, here is all the challenges to earn the Ghost Rider title, as well as the Superblack shader if you missed it during Into the Light. On the front page, there is Cryptozoologist, which is the basic triumph you'll get for doing the event and doing the quest that Eva introed you to. Next is Bookworm, which is basically filling out Tales of Forgotten Volume 4. I'd advise just completing 4 before doubling back into any other ones if you're looking for the title specifically, just because I don't know for sure if Bungie was foolproof and made it so that previous tales count for this. I imagine they only counted 4. Next is Heads Will Roll for defeating Headless Ones and Lost Sectors. This will go by a lot quicker than you think, 100 considering it's roughly 10 or more per, and they can go by pretty quickly, the events being less than 6 minutes in general. Then there's Candy Corner, which don't worry about this one, it will figure itself out on its own. Just make sure to keep wearing a mask and earning candy anywhere in the system, and this will complete eventually. Next, the Horrific Haunts for completing 1 Expert Haunted Lost Sector, which is easier nowadays because there is Fireteam Finder, so if you're looking for legitimate help or wish to join a team that is actually trying, it is more easier than ever. Next is Mystery Meat for purchasing grab bags from Eva Levante. This is the one I mentioned before. It rewards a bunch of candy as a consolation prize, but again, unless you have nothing else you wish to buy and specifically need the Ghost Rider title, I advise just not buying these bags unless literally what I just said, you need the title and need this triumph. Next is the armory-based ones, which is the only times you'll need to worry about the weapons you carry. You'll essentially need pulse rifles, a grenade launcher, as well as a shotgun in each slot if you wish to complete all these simultaneously, or one per however rate you wish to do, and that will complete all 3 of these challenges, also earn you last year's weapons, as well as this year's new weapon, the Arcane Embrace, which if you don't know, the Arcane Embrace is a new heavy burst intrinsic trait shotgun, which means it fires 2 shells with reduced flinch from incoming fire. It is going to be something certainly interesting because I believe it is still buckshot pattern, and I've seen plenty of nifty perks on it in addition to other possibilities, so we'll just have to keep our eyes out in case this is a new king of shotguns in any aspect. Lastly, on this page, there is a cult ritual for basically just completing ritual activities, strikes, crucible matches, gambit, at all, while of course wearing a mask. Next page is Hocus Focusing for focusing an Eerie engram at Eva Levante. Of course, they drop from Haunted Lost Sectors, take them to Eva Levante, and with a little bit of extra candy, you'll be able to focus any Eerie engram, and after unlocking the memento, hopefully get an extra memento drop. Next is the Happy Haunting Ground for basically just completing haunted sectors, with higher difficulty haunted sectors granting additional progress. Then the Masked Bandit for doing anything involving PvP, and while wearing a mask, crucible, or gambit, and doing all these challenges will unlock the Ghost Rider title, which will earn you the title, a shard, a alloy, as well as the Superblack shader, again, if you did not earn it during Into the Light. And for the gilding process, there is one of many. For basically, I imagine killing the 10 limit of headless ones in a single run of a lost sector. I don't think you need to get the kill credit for every single one, because I do know I missed 1 or 2 during this process. Next is Deathless for basically just completing the haunted sectors without dying. Pretty simple there. And then there's Mass Mayhem for wearing a festival mask in any endgame activity from dungeons, raids, master, or grandmaster nightfalls, as well as a round of trials on Osiris. So keep that in mind in case you're ever going into the Crucible and trials this weekend. Then lastly, this is the one that will certainly take the longest, these Sweet Tooths for collecting candy by completing activities and defeating combatants while wearing a festival mask. Again, this will happen last as always, unless you are mega focused on farming nothing but candy. With that, that is how you get both of the titles as well as the mementos to Festival of the Lost. With that, that is the comprehensive guide to the activities and event of Festival of the Lost, and I will be covering the cosmetics and just a little bit, but with that, I will of course be covering the Lost Memento Challenge once it becomes available to the community and everyone knows what to get. I will show you how to do it in every easy way. With that, I will see you in the next video.